Hi lovelies, this is a collective haul of things that I've been kind of trying for the last few months. So some of these I've had for a while and they've just been in a little box and I haven't got around to talking about them yet. There's a couple that have joined my collection, and there's a couple that I'm going to be sending back because some of these are from Nino. This one is from Nino. These are all affordable perfumes. The most expensive perfumes here, there's two, and they were £20, I think. And I have a feeling everything else I got was under £20. Let's start with Satine. So Satine by Lalique is a perfume that I've been looking at for ages. I've seen a few people talking about this. It gets really mixed reviews, but I really loved the bottle. I saw it come up for, I think it was literally like 19.99 or something, this 100 ml bottle on Notino. And because Notino allow you to return things, I thought I'm going to try it. I'm going to take my chance. I'm going to try it because I absolutely love this bottle. I think the bottle is gorgeous. I mean, the box is beautiful. What does it say here? Living my dreams, that is what I'm about. Okay. Okay. So, gorgeous bottle. Super cool. It's like, I mean, I guess because this is supposed to be soft and it's quite a powdery perfume, it's this kind of frosted glass. In the picture, I just totally assumed it wasn't going to be frosted, but it is rather pretty. You can really see it actually in these lights. I'm going to spray this out. I've got to kind of dry down on one side. I'm going to spray it out onto the other fresh side, so I can talk about this. A fabulous bottle with a cool lid. I mean, it's just so pretty. And this is a strange perfume because this is not one that I'm going to keep because there's something about this that doesn't agree with me. In fact, there's two notes in here that really don't agree with me. And I knew it was a bit of a risk to try it, but there's been such mixed reviews of this and how people smell it. And because I quite like to try Lalique perfumes, I thought it might be worth it. I really like Lalique Le Parfum. I really like Lalique Amethyst. And sometimes things take a bit of time to grow on you. I find their perfumes are quite interesting. They're often by Natalie Lawson. This is a Natalie Lawson. This one doesn't work for me. It makes me feel like I'm going to sneeze. And you'll know why when I read you the notes. So the top notes are heliotrope, gardenia, and jasmine. Now, heliotrope I tend to find quite powdery, very sweet, almost almondy. Gardenia and jasmine, not necessarily my favourite florals. But then the mid notes are tonka bean, vanilla, and pink pepper. Base notes, sandalwood, patchouli, and vetiver. So there are a few notes here that aren't normally my favourite. But I love tonka bean, and a lot of people are describing this as a vanilla perfume. I don't think I'd really describe this as a vanilla. It's a sweet, powdery, slightly floral perfume. But for me, the tonka is way stronger here than the vanilla. The heliotrope is the most obvious floral, I would say. But my goodness, the patchouli and the pink pepper here are so high up in the mix to me. It smells medicinal to me. This is one I really don't like. I got my husband to sniff it as well, and he pulled a face. He doesn't like it either. Although he did say again what he normally says about anything that's even slightly powdery and sweet, baby powder, you know? And it does have that baby powder kind of quality to it. And it's very tonka heavy. There's a little bit of vanilla, but I would never describe this as a vanilla perfume. It's a sweet perfume, but not necessarily vanilla. But that pink pepper is like eye-watering, nose-running, like spicy in a way I don't like, you know. And I quite like black pepper in perfumes, but I don't really like pink pepper. And I would say the patchouli here is very green, very earthy. I mean, the thing is, like, the overall effect is not a million miles away from like a version of something I do like Lord of Misrule from Lush, which is vanilla, patchouli, and black pepper. But this is like tonka, patchouli, and pink pepper, and it's not really my kind of patchouli, and I much prefer black pepper to pink pepper. Yeah, it smells a little bit like It's hard for me to put my finger on it, but it definitely smells medicinal to me in a way, like, you know, like plasters or something. Like, it's just something I can't get into with this one. It is sweet, it's powdery, it's fluffy. I can see why people, I feel like if you really like patchouli or you're completely like not put off by patchouli, you might react completely different to this. If you like things like that are fruit choulis, you might not even really think about the patchouli in this. And I have seen some people who I know wear loads of patchouli in perfumes, um, that really like this one, and they have described it as like a sweet powdery one. But if, like me, you're sensitive to patchouli and you're fussy about patchouli, this is gonna be too patchouli heavy for me. And if you don't like pink pepper, you're gonna hate it. So yeah, that one I'm going to return to Nino, so someone else who actually is going to appreciate it can have it, because it's a beautiful bottle. It's a pretty cool perfume. It's just not my style. It's not that I think it's bad. So then we've got, let's see, what have we got? We've got a whole bunch of Jeanne Arthes, and I'm going to start with the other one and another one that's going to go back, because I am so sad and disappointed about this, and I'm disappointed with Jeanne Arthes. This is one of the Jbre range. This is Jbre and Sheer Silk. I tried the one that's the Ylang Ylang. I think it's Jbre and Vanille or something like that. Maybe it's Ylang and Vanille. And I just couldn't quite get over the opening of that. It smelled a bit like plastic to me in a way I didn't like, but the dry down was pretty good. That one's quite vanillic, that's quite sweet. I think the people who really like that perfume really like it. But I wanted to try another from the range, and this one, I knew the general scent that I was going to get from this, because I read the notes and I was like, oh, I know that what that's supposed to be duping. So this is the bottle, which I think is rather cool. There it is, Jbre Silk. The Ylang Ylang one I tried, the vanilla and Ylang, that had like a golden liquid and then a gold lid, and whatever this is plastic, but it still looks kind of cool. So I would have been very happy to have this in my display. Like, I think it's a really cool bottle. Now, let's see if you can guess what this was going to be duping. So blackcurrant, mandarin orange and bergamot in the top, middle notes of jasmine, orange blossom and lavender. Base notes, musk, tonka bean and vetiver. What do you reckon? If you said Libre, yes. Although I think this is marked down by people who vote for it as being more like Libre Intense. And that's why I was interested in it, because I think that is probably the best Libre. Although I do really like the Platine one. But in terms of like just the classic Libre scents, I think that one is the nicest, the Intense. But I reckon this probably to lots of people does smell like that, but this is the first Jeanne Arthes I've ever bought that has that tarry aroma chemical in. So this smells like tarmac to me. It smells like burning rubber, burning wood. That's almost all I can smell. I get a sense underneath it for Libre, but I'm not getting the sweetness of the Intense. This one to me smells more like a fruity version of the original. I'm going to talk about something later where the original, because I've got a flanker of something else that I had, and the original version of that is a better take on Libre, so I'll talk about that later. But in terms of like, I'd say just get the La Rive one. I think it's called, is it called, oh, Destiny or Destiny or something. That one I have a little one of, and that is my favourite dupe so far, probably, of Libre. Well, no, maybe the other one's my favourite, but because I had a little one of that made sense to keep. It was quite strong. This one, the aroma chemicals, the thing is, you might not be able to smell it, but other people might be able to. So that's not your problem, but if you don't want to take that risk, then I wouldn't go for this one personally. But some people really like this one. Yeah, I can smell the general Libre smell, but it's just, yeah, it's really sad. I've never had that from Jeanne Arthes before. It's the first of any of the perfumes that I've tried from Jeanne Arthes that has that tarry aroma chemical, so that's gutted. That one's going back. Oh yes, I got this one specifically because It's been compared to a very expensive perfume, and I thought I would try that because I have a sample, and I have tried it in store as well of the really expensive one. So this is a Jeanne en Provence. So this is still from the Arthes group who make Jeanne Arthes, but this is Jeanne en Provence. This is their more kind of natural, more kind of more like L'Occitanie style perfumes, if you see what I mean. This is called Jasmine Secrets. Really, I love these bottles. I think they're so pretty. The writing is so like it's white writing on a yellow background, so it's not the easiest to read, to be honest, in the light I'm sitting in. But I have got the notes on a Fragrantica. Here it is. Such a pretty bottle. Don't you think this is so pretty? And they're so affordable, it's insane. So then, the notes here: green accord and peach in the top, wild jasmine, white lily and violet in the mid, base notes, musk and sandalwood. So let's spray this out. The reason I wanted to try this is because it has been compared by quite a few people actually to Jasmine's Marzipan, or Jasmine Marzipan, from, oh my goodness, is that the Lancome, the fancy Lancome? I think so. And I sort of can see it, but not necessarily. I think the overall scent profile it definitely is in that kind of realm, but this is very watery, it's very fresh, it's really sheer, it's definitely texturally totally different, but it does have that similar kind of jasmine, but does it really smell like jasmine that you get in Jasmine's Marzipan? Jasmine's Marzipan, I think, lists 3 different types of jasmine, and to me, it just smells like spring florals, and it's not necessarily a really obvious jasmine to me. So this one, super light, super pretty. It's almost, to me, nudging a little bit more towards, what's it called? The Gucci Gorgeous Jasmine. It feels a little bit more like that to me. It's got this kind of juicy, watery fruitiness with this kind of spring floral prettiness. It's very light, slightly ethereal, as most of these that I've smelt from the En Provence line are. It's super pretty. It has I'd say there's a slightly strange tone in this, which I'd say is from the green accords, but I think that's quite pretty. Almost like a waxy, leafy smell. So I think this one's really pretty. I don't really need this because I think it smells quite similar to, what's the one I've got? What's it called? The Starfruit and White Flowers that I have from 4711. But I'm also thinking maybe that I will take this home to live at my mum and dad's house so that I can wear this when I go and visit, because it's probably light enough that it's not going to bother my mum too much. She hates perfumes, and yeah, it's just going to be an easy reach, and I think it's super pretty. But I'd highly recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it as a dupe, because I'd say you're better off, if you want Jasmine's Marzipan, to try and find a good dupe of Pure Poison. Because maybe Jasmine's Marzipan is a bit sweeter, but I still don't think it really smells like marzipan. It's just a really, really pretty kind of spring florally, clean, slightly creamy smell. But yeah, this is super pretty. If you want a watery, fresh, slightly fruity spring floral that's got a little bit of jasmine, really, really pretty. So that's a good one. Then we have, oh yeah, so I haven't smelt the perfume that this is supposed to be a dupe of. This is Jeanne Arthes. This is called Lover in the Dark. So Lover in the Dark has a really weird bottle, a super weird spray, a really weird lid. But it's weirdly kind of charming in a strange way. It does look like something for a kid. Look how tiny it is. I think, what is this? It's a 50ml, but somehow it just looks so ickle. It's got this really weird, like, ugh, this strange kind of little plastic lid, and this tiny wee little spray top. Okay, I'm gonna spray this one out. I can still sort of smell a little bit of it. So, oh, there we go. Lover in the Dark. There is something about this that I enjoy, but I feel like if I wore this, it would feel too masculine for me. Um, I've tried it on my skin, and my skin really pulls out what I consider to be the more masculine elements. But this has plum and apple in the top, and that plum and apple in the top is delicious. It smells really autumnal. It smells, I was going to say it smells like there's cinnamon in it. There is cinnamon in it. It has a autumnal kind of fruity spiced pie smell about it without being entirely gourmand. So the notes are plum and apple in the top. The mid notes are thyme, cinnamon, and jasmine, and the base notes are cedar, vanilla, and sandalwood. So it is sweet. There's quite a lot of vanilla, but it's very woody. It's a bit powdery. There's a lot of thyme in here. Oh, see, now I'm smelling it again, and I'm like, maybe I do like this. But when I put it on my skin, I was finding it quite masculine. It's the kind of thing I might quite like on my husband, but I think it might be too sweet for him. Um, but that plum and apple when you first spray it is so yummy. It's really, really nice. It's warm, it's cozy, powdery, sweet. It's like pretty much everything you'd want from an autumnal scent. But yeah, I just found on my skin the thyme was so strong. Um, but you know what? I'm gonna have to keep hold of this one and try it again and see how I feel about it. Maybe if I try this in cold weather, it's going to be cozy and I'm going to love it. Because I do have some perfumes with thyme in, although I always think of them as being very, very unisex. But this is cozy. This one. It doesn't smell cheap at all. The bottle looks cheap, but it doesn't smell cheap. Yeah, okay. I'm going to keep hold of that one. That's actually a really good one. Okay, let's keep hold of that. So yeah, this weird little lover in the dark, that one can stay with me and I'll see how I get on with it. And I know who I'm going to give it to if I can't get on with it anyway, so that's nice. But yeah, it smells pretty unisex to me. And I feel like Hugo Boss Alive, which this I think is said to be a dupe of, um, that perfume, as far as I can tell, I mean, it says it's the Boss Alive Eau de Parfum. It's for women. It's warm, spicy, cinnamon, woody, fruity, and vanillic. Yeah, I mean, and aromatic, and it pretty much is all of those things. So that one, let's keep hold of that. All right. Next up, we have a couple of Cassandras, my namesakes. So these were just so cheap. I thought I would try them purely to review them, to be honest, because I think they were both like £4 or something, or like £3.50. They were things that had gone into like the clearance bit, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to try them. So it's Cassandra Dark Blossom. It is the classic Cassandra bottle. I never really like the lids on these, but I do think the bottles are kind of vintage and cool. Um, so Cassandra Dark Blossom. Actually, I almost think that this lid is a bit nicer than some of the others because it's black and it kind of works a bit better in that colour. This has notes of sorbet, pear, bergamot dewdrop. I imagine that's a pear sorbet. Um, Mid notes of praline, cashmere wood, ambergris. Base notes white sandalwood and musk. This is fruity. It's sweet. I don't really. I mean it. It has a generic sweet smell. It's really recognisable. So if I have a look at what it's compared to. Oh, interesting. Okay. Compared to Black Opium, specifically the green one. Is that called Neon? And then the one that maybe is that called Nude? Hmm. Um. Isn't the green one the one with fig in it? I'm not sure that I would compare this to Black Opium, any of them, just because Black Opiums, as far as I remember, all have orange blossom and patchouli. And those are two of the notes in Black Opium that make them kind of unwearable to me. And this doesn't smell like orange blossom or patchouli. It smells much more like a kind of sweet and slightly generic celebrity perfume. You know, like maybe a Britney or a Paris Hilton. I mean, there's that. Oh, there's almost enough sweetness in here for me to say it could almost be a kind of Ariana Grande style one, like maybe one of the older ones. It's totally pretty. It's not really for me. I have actually worn this one and I was like, nah, it's okay. It didn't bring me any particular joy wearing it. It's quite light. It's pretty. It's perfect for like young girls. It would be really good if you didn't have like a big collection and you just wanted some sweet, girly, easy to wear perfumes. Like it would be super good for that because it is pretty. But yeah, I'm not really getting orange blossom or patchouli from this, which for me is good, but I don't think it actually smells like black opium, and I don't get the impression it's supposed to. I think if it was supposed to be black opium, then Cassandra Dark Blossom probably would list having patchouli and orange blossom because it's a pretty big deal in most of those. Okay, so that one, not really for me, but it is totally cute. Now, this one, the original Cassandra. So I thought I would definitely want to try this one because firstly it's just called Cassandra, and like I've said numerous times, that is my name. So really wanted to try it anyway, but also because this is a dupe for Chanel No. 5. And I like Chanel No. 5. In nearly all of its incantations that I've smelled, I like Chanel No. 5, and I like dupes of Chanel No. 5. So this is the classic. I mean, look at that juice. It has got the Chanel No. 5 style vintage perfume coloured juice, hasn't it? So let's spray this one out. So I like this because I like Chanel No. 5. But what I would say about this is I think this is... Woo! This one is sharper than Chanel No. 5. Well, the Eau de Parfum. So I'd say this is closer to the Eau de Toilette, and as you can see, it is an Eau de Toilette. The aldehydes are bonkers here. So if you don't like aldehydes, you won't like it. To be fair, if you don't like Chanel No. 5, you won't like it. But this is a fresher and brighter, crisper, sharper version of something I already have, which is Lemon from Coty, which to me is like a slightly more rosy, easier to wear, lighter Chanel No. 5. It's not quite as sweet, I don't think. So I think Chanel No. 5, the Eau de Parfum, has a slight vanillic dry down to me, and this one doesn't have so much of that. This is a little bit crisper. But I still have a soft spot for it because it really is classic Chanel No. 5 DNA. So like I said, closer to the Eau de Toilette, but I think it's really pretty. It also smells a little bit like, you know, all the aldehydic musks, so it's got a little bit of the Jovan musk kind of feel to it, but it's not quite as sweet. It's a bit fresher, a bit more zingy, and it's a little bit like musk No. 6, and loads of musks, in fact. Yeah, if you like anything that's even slightly Chanel No. 5-y, and if you like aldehydes, you're going to really like Cassandra. I think it's a really pretty, bright... I mean, it was literally £3.60. It's not as strong, obviously, as any of the Chanels, but it is quite strong. And this one, when I tested it on my skin, lasted for quite a long time. So the notes here: aldehydes, fruity notes in the top, ylang and rose in the mid, base notes, musk and woodsy notes. Let's be real, this definitely smells like Chanel No. 5 Eau de Toilette, so there's probably way more going on here. I imagine there's a bit of patchouli, a bit of oak moss. I'm sure there's more florals than that. But damn, this is aldehydic. This is like Cabotin de Grès levels of aldehydes here. Amazing. So yeah, I'm happy to have that one. It's really cute. Just a bit of a joy, that one. I don't have the Eau de Toilette of Chanel No. 5, and I've got Chanel No. 5 Eau Premiere on its way. I'd love to have a bottle of the actual Chanel No. 5. I'm sure at some point it will end up in my collection because it's just a scent profile that I've kind of liked forever. All right. This one was an eBay buy because you can't get this anywhere else, but I saw it for cheap on eBay, so I snapped it up. This is a little 60ml of Amazing Grace Jasmine from Philosophy. I thought this would be worth a try. It gets pretty good reviews. An eau de toilette. So Let's have a sniff. This is just one that I don't like, to be honest, guys. Mm-mm. And it's not because I think it's bad, it's because it's just not my kind of thing. So, cute bottle. This lists notes of, let's see, bergamot in the top, jasmine and coconut, nectar in the mid, and musk in the base. So the thing is with this, there's some philosophies I really, really like. And the ones that I don't like make me feel a bit sick. Because the ones I don't like tend to veer very hard into the body lotion kind of smell. And this one really smells like a body lotion. I find the bergamot and the jasmine to be a little bit, well, the bergamot's a little bit sharp. The jasmine for me is a bit screechy. And then the coconut nectar has a kind of stuck in the back of my throat powdery feel to it, a lotiony but powdery feel. And then the musk is extremely, extremely lotion-like a body lotion. And there's not a huge amount of sweetness here. So this is just one that is not for me because it is too much like a sharp body lotion. But the people who like this, they really like it. It's got a lot of good reviews, so I know that this one's going to be easy enough to pass on. I was just hoping that it wouldn't be like a full-on body lotion because I think the Amazing Grace really does have a real body lotiony smell that I don't like either. So this is quite in the wheelhouse of the original, which is fair enough. So I can't really moan that it's not my kind of thing because I don't like the original. But I tried it. I thought it would be fun to review, but yeah, this one is going to go elsewhere because it's not my vibe. Okay, what do we got next? Oh yeah, this is one that's already in my collection. So this is Clean Classic, and this is Classic Skin, the Eau de Parfum. It's just a little 30ml. I just saw it for a good price on, where did I even get this from? This might have been in the Nino as well, actually. So I saw it for a good price and I thought, right, yeah, I'll snap that up because I had a rollerball of it. I have a rollerball of it. But I just don't like using rollerballs, so I figured again, like, that's a good one to just throw in my bag after I sprayed something on. I'm just going to have to spray this one out because you can't really smell much from the sprayer. To be fair, it's because I haven't worn it from the actual thing yet. So let me just spray it on the top of the box because this one's going to stay with me. It's real fruity in the top of this one. It smells like melon. The other thing that's nice about this Clean Classic is that it's vegan. Let's see, what else does it say? It's a clean formula. It's got the leaping bunny on it, so it's cruelty free. Quite sweet. That's what's interesting about the Clean Classic. Oh, there you go. Sometimes I've got a good nose, guys. So, top notes: lotus blossom, honeydew, which I assume is the honeydew melon, fresh air accord. Middle is creamy vanilla, dewy petals, blue rose. Dry down is white musk, cashmere woods, and amber woods. These are the notes from the Clean website for the Clean Classic Skin. The ones on Fragrantica, they don't even have the Clean Classic version of this perfume. They have the original version of it. And they only have like 2 notes listed or something. But yeah, it's fruity. The dry down, you definitely get like a really sweet musk. You definitely get a bit of a wood. It's slightly floral, but it's quite fruity. It smells fresh. It smells clean. It smells a little bit laundry-like, but not in a detergenty way. Yeah, it's just a pretty perfume. I think it's just a good one to chuck on, you know, if you're not sure what else to wear, but you want something that's kind of clean and sweet. It's just quite a good one for that. So yeah, that one's already in my collection. Let's put that over there. And next up, what do we have? Oh yeah, okay. So I got a couple more of these. I have the, let's see, what am I starting on? Let's start with this one. So this is a Roger and Gallet. Roger and Gallet, Field d'été. I think this just means something. I wonder what that means. I don't even know what it means. But anyway, French art of, yeah. Oh, here you go. It says it here. Lemon, black tea, sandalwood. And I was like, I mean, that sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? I feel like that sounds pretty lovely. So I have the Fleur de Figure, which I think is quite nice, but it's not my favourite. It's probably not one I'm going to keep just because if I'm going to wear a fig perfume, I'm going to wear my Toca Lucia because I just much prefer that one. But I also have the Osmanthus. That one's really, really pretty. That I think smells like Lipton Ice Peach Tea. Like that's the vibe I get from that one. So I wanted to try a couple more. So this is, I mean, I love tea perfumes and I've seen really good reviews of this. So I was like, oh, this one I think is going to be a shoo-in. I can't see how I'm not going to like this. I was too sure of myself because I don't like this one. And it's strange as well because it smells fine to me when I first spray it. And then on my skin, it starts to smell like citronella. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, this might be a skin thing because, I mean, I am getting a bit of that citronella now, like, now that it's drying down. You definitely get a beautiful tea note, definitely. I'm not too keen on the sandalwood here. It smells a little bit synthetic to me, a little bit chemically. And then, like I said, the lemon here just is turning from lemon into citronella, into that kind of bitter, keep the mosquitoes away. I mean, it might be great for a holiday in that respect. Like, I don't think mosquitoes are going to come near me if I wear this. It almost smells like there's a bit of ginger in here or something. There's something in it that smells ever so slightly warm, spicy to me, even though this is a very cool scent. But yeah, it just starts turning into citronella, and I know that's not what everyone gets from this because I've read the reviews, but this smells dreadful on my skin. Like it just doesn't work on my skin personally. And I would, again, like to be honest, I'd just go for green tea. I'd go for one of my many other tea perfumes that I love. If I wanted something lemony, I'd go for my lemon and ginger from Aqua Colonia, from 4711. And yeah, this one's not going to stay with me. It's not my jam. It smells pretty dreadful on me, to be honest, guys, which is a shame. I do like these little bottles though, and they're really easy to throw in your bag. So that's not staying. And then the other one I got is Jbre Rouge, and I was super excited about this one. What does it say? Pink berries, ginger, and benzoin. So pink berries I'm normally relatively safe with. I like ginger, I like benzoin. What does it say on Fragrantica? Because it gives more notes on Fragrantica. So here's the bottle. On Fragrantica it says pomegranate, ginger and mandarin orange in the top, and then in the mid it says ginger, lychee and orange blossom. Base notes say white musk, cedar and candied ginger. So I thought, with the exception of sometimes what I have a problem with, which is lychee, there's certain types of lychee that really bother me. Let me spray this out on there. But with the exception of that, I was like, all of these notes look pretty good to me. Orange Blossom isn't my favourite, but as there was only like one note out of many. Okay. And yet, this has that lychee that I hate. It has the Delina style lychee. And I really don't like it at all. There's something that just is like an instant headache with Delina, and anything that smells anything like Delina, and anything that has the lychee that's similar from Delina. Oh, I'm really surprised at how this smells. And again, this very much could be more to do with it having like aroma chemicals in, because this smells super weird to me. It doesn't smell like ginger. It smells very soapy and screechy, but there is also like a sickeningly sweet note here, and that's what I get from that lychee. I get the lychee from Delina and perfumes similar that have that same note. It's like eye-piercingly sharp while also being sickeningly sweet. It's like a really weird combination. And I wouldn't have guessed it was Orange Blossom apart from the fact it's super soapy. Again, it smells a bit more like a rose or something. It's got more of that kind of smell. Yeah, I really don't like this, and I wish I got ginger from it, but I don't. I think this might be an aroma chemical thing, to be honest. In fact, I wonder if both of these last ones are a bit aroma chemically. It says they're 92% natural ingredients. Anything else on here? No, I don't think these are vegan. But yeah, no, not. Don't like them. I really don't like them. So yeah, I think I've done all my trials with the old Roger and Gallet. I've got one that I quite like that I'm keeping. I've got one that I think is nice, but I don't need to keep and I'm never going to wear. And then I've got two that I just actively don't like. So I think I'm done with testing those out. Speaking of companies I'm done with testing out, I'm done with Monothem. I've tried so many of these now, and I'm often quite sad about them, which sucks, but so this is from their new natural range. This is Honeysuckle. Let me just raise this up a bit. I really like honeysuckle, and I really want a good honeysuckle perfume, which is why I bought this. Vegan, so that's good. Let's see, anything else about it? Honeysuckle. So I got this. This has notes of, I should have known, orange blossom, bergamot, petitgrain, mid notes of honeysuckle and jasmine, base notes ambrette, cedar, and vanilla orchid. And does it smell like honeysuckle? No, it doesn't. It doesn't even smell like it's got honeysuckle in it to me. All right, I'm gonna spray this out again. My real problem with Monothem is that nearly all of them, they have a very similar DNA running through the house, and all of the natural ones just smell like petitgrain and orange blossom or neroli. Like, they all have that bitter, soapy, orange blossomy vibe, and that's what this smells like as well. Yeah, soapy orange blossom. It's a soapy orange blossom with like a hint of something honeysuckle sweet in it, but it doesn't really smell like honeysuckle because it's being choked by the orange blossom and the petitgrain, the bitter green petitgrain. And hey, look, if you love orange blossom, you'll probably recognise that there is a honeysuckle in here, because there's definitely that kind of sweet honeyed spring floral somewhere in the background. But because I'm so sensitive to petitgrain, neroli and orange blossom, it's really hard to get anything else from this. And it's so soapy. It's like body lotion, or yeah, maybe it's like a very soapy orange blossom that again is leaning into the body lotion. It's so gutted because like for a split second there I was like, I can smell a little tiny bit of honeysuckle, and now it's gone. I don't know why they had to put blooming orange blossom and petitgrain in this. I don't know why they didn't just not put those in and have a ton of that honeysuckle. This would have been amazing. Just amp up the vanilla orchid, amp up the ambrette, and have tons of that honeysuckle, and don't put in orange blossom. Yeah, I'm just not going to buy Monothem anymore because so many of them they smell lotiony, or they have this weird kind of vanilla lotion kind of smell in them, or they just smell like orange blossom, petitgrain or neroli, and I am done with them. Again, if that's your favourite note, Monothem is the house for you, because they really, really have a lot of very orange blossom heavy perfumes. But yeah, I was gutted. And then when I was in Marks and Spencer's, I smelt the one that's like, I think it's one of these naturals that's called cacao. I think it's supposed to have like cocoa in it or something. And again, that didn't, I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure that one smelled like orange blossom as well. So yeah, that is going the hell away from me because I'm angry about that one. I feel like I was tricked. I've had that one for ages, you see, because I bought it when it first came out before I could see the reviews of it. And if I'd seen the reviews, I'd have seen that everyone had voted as the neroli, bergamot and petitgrain as being the top notes, and I wouldn't have bought it. But anyway, that's been in a cupboard because I was so furious. All right, now we've got a couple of remixes from the 4711 Cologne, Eau de Cologne. This one, there we go, Remix Green Oasis. So let's have a look. Oh yes, I got this because there's a watermelon note. I was excited because I was on in summer a watermelon kick, so I wanted to try this one. That's what the bottle looks like. Super cute. Okay, let me just spray this one out to remind myself. My memories of this is that it's not massively watermelony, which is exactly what I found with, I think, was it watermelon and bamboo from the actual Aqua Colonia range from 4711? And I was not impressed, and I got rid of that one because, again, like, I could smell like something watery. I couldn't smell watermelon. I'm still not, I mean, it's fruity. It smells like a tropical fruit juice, smells like an old school Escada perfume, but not quite as sweet, a bit more watery. Would I pick out watermelon? A tiny bit, but not really. This has top notes of watermelon and dragon fruit and lemon. Mid notes, water notes, magnolia, gardenia and plum. Base notes, cedar, sandalwood and musk. Yeah, this just smells like a kind of tropical, fruity, shampoo-y perfume from the mid-2000s. Like, I'm not mad for it. It's perfectly pretty, but I don't think I'd ever reach for this even in summer. It's a little bit generic and sugary, fruity smelling. I really don't love it. It's okay, but yeah, sadly I'm not getting what I really needed from it, which was a big dose of watery, juicy, natural smelling watermelon. So yeah, this one, not so much. Not keen on that one. That will be leaving me. So the other one I got was the 4711 remix, which is Sparkling Island. So let's see what this is saying. It says something about Mykonos Party Island. Alright. Let me get my little sprayer out so I can spray this. I think I might have actually tried, I mean, I've tried all of these on my skin, but let's see. I think I wore this one. Let's see. This one smells like a classic kind of, well, it doesn't smell like a classic cologne because it doesn't smell like cologne, but it smells watery, fresh, very summer appropriate, really clean. Oh yeah, green apple, that's what I can smell. So this is, and I went for this one because of the lime. So this is top notes of lime, lemon and orange, mid notes green apple, freesia and ylang ylang, base notes cedar, musk and amberwood. You definitely get the green apple, you definitely get the lime, but then you've got a kind of slightly soapy freesia. And a little bit of that ylang as well. It's quite sweet, this one. It's clean, it's fresh. Do I love it? No. Do I dislike it? No. Totally, this is a kind of, I like it, I don't love it. I probably wouldn't reach for this over any of my other summer perfumes, but I do also think it's really pretty. I'd like to smell this on other people. Yeah, it's actually surprisingly sweet, this one, and I'm doing this particular video in cool weather, so surprisingly sweet. I don't love green apple. I wish there was more zingy lime here. I mean, there definitely is lime, lemon and orange. I can smell those citruses, but there's quite a lot of apple. It hasn't reached into full-on candle territory, but it's definitely got a little bit of a classic green apple that smells nice in a house and I don't necessarily like on a perfume, you know? But that one's definitely nicer, I think. Yeah, the other one definitely has a kind of boring Escada-y kind of, you know, not too exciting tropical fruit juice smell to it. But there, the sparkling, what's it called? Sparkling Island, that one I think is quite pretty, but I don't love it. Let's see. What have I got next? Oh, we've got one left, and this one I have already worn, and it's already in my collection. This one is Antonio Banderas, the Icon Splendid. So the Icon Splendid is the first flanker of the Icons. Now, I did have the original Icon. So the original Icon is a dupe of Libre, the original first ever Libre. And it is, to my nose, a kind of slightly nicer version of it because it's more fruity. It's got blackcurrant and pear. It's got quite a strong pear note in that, which I thought was really, really pretty. But Libre is not one of my favourite perfumes. Again, there's a lot of orange blossom in there. So I was like, it's really nice. I'd highly recommend it to people. It's definitely not as strong as Libre though, but it's much cheaper. The reason I think even when I talked about it, I still said the Larive dupe is probably better because it's a bit stronger. But I do think that the Icon by Antonio Banderas, the original one, is really good. So Icon Splendid caught my eye, partly because the only reason I wanted the original one was because I loved the bottle. So when I saw there was a flanker, I looked at the notes and I thought, I'm going to try this. This is the bottle. I don't think it's quite as beautiful as the original bottle, but I do still think it's really cool. So the Icon Splendid, oh my goodness, I was so happy I bought this. So I think this cost me about £20. I think it's somewhere between £20 and £25 if you look at this online. It depends where you are in the world, I'm sure, and where you buy it from. I think I got mine from a seller on eBay. It wasn't secondhand, it was brand new, but I think it was about 20 quid. So the notes here are top notes of pear, black pepper and tangerine. Middle notes of peony, guaiacon, which is a purple looking flower. I've never seen that before. When I clicked on that when I was, because I have worn this one already, when I clicked on that one, there was only two perfumes it had in. It was this and another perfume I've never heard of, so I don't know what that floral is. And then Orange Blossom. I was like, oh, Orange Blossom, we'll see. Base notes, praline, rose, sandalwood, vanilla and musk. And I was like, I mean, peony sometimes is really screechy to me and very sharp. I don't really love peony. Orange Blossom sometimes too soapy for me, and rose I'm super fussy about. But everything else in this perfume I was like, that should be safe for me. And it's lovely, genuinely. I think it's super pretty. When it opens up, it's got the most beautiful pear note. And the pear in it reminds me, when I first spray this, of Donna Aqua by Valentino, which is obviously a perfume that's really hard to come by. I'm just trying to find somewhere to spray this out because I'm wearing a totally different perfume today. I'm going to just spray it onto the top. Bosh. It's not very strong, but I haven't had it for very long, so maybe it needs to, you know, the air needs to get in there a little bit because it's very sweet. Yeah. Because it's got that praline, which obviously is a very sweet and nutty confection. It's got the very sweet sugariness, and then it's got the nuttiness, and then it's got this really juicy pear. And it really reminds me of Donna Aqua. So I love Donna Aqua from Valentino. It's one of my all-time favourite perfumes. You can't get it anymore. They insanely, I think it's the best Valentino that's ever come out, and it's like they've got rid of it, which is mad. But anyway, I shouldn't go off on a rant. This though then starts drying down into something else. It really gets stronger in the praline. It's been compared to Prada Paradox, but I think that's a much more floral perfume than this. I think it smells very similar to By Invitation Rose Gold from, what's his name? Michael Bublé, because I bought that perfume. Sadly, that has so many aroma chemicals in it that I found it unwearable, but before it dried down to smell all tarry and like chemically and poisonous to me, I thought it was really pretty, and it's got very similar notes. So this one, it starts off with Donna Aqua to me. It dries down and it almost has a little bit of a kind of manifesto feel on my skin, which is kind of like a very sweet, slightly creamy, gently floral, or like just really pretty sugary sweet scent. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a really good perfume. I really like it. It's not very long lasting, sadly, but I do think it's super pretty. And I think if you like, so I love pear in perfumes, and I think if you like the pear in something like God is a Woman, if you like the pear in Donna Aqua, if you like the pear in Rose Gold, let me just have a look at the Prada Paradox notes, because I feel like my memory is that it's far, I mean, it's far stronger, obviously, but it's way more floral to me. I remember thinking that Paradox has a slight My Way and Lontedy kind of smell to it, among other things. And I don't get that from this, and it's very, very sugary sweet. I think the praline and pear are definitely the top notes here for me. They're the things that are really, really, really strong. So let me just, yeah, there you go, because it's Orange Blossom, Neroli Essence, Neroli, and Jasmine Sandbag. So it's a very floral perfume. So I don't actually think it smells like Paradox. It is very mass appealing, I'd say, the way that Paradox is. So yeah, it's really pretty. It's really pretty. I'm really glad I bought it. I highly recommend it if you want an absolutely bargainous, lovely, yummy, warm, cozy, sweet perfume. And if you love pear, if you love pear like I do, this is an absolute banger. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a really long video because I had so many things to talk about, but yeah, that's all the stuff that's been in my little boxes for a while. So I hope this was helpful if you were looking at any of these. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and you can follow me on Instagram at Skin Scents for Fuss Pots. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know down below if you've got any of these and what your thoughts are. Bye.